This is Bob Staunton, brother of Bob, and part-time bum fluff collector. I'm not recommending you subscribe to the Tommy Boyds Shrine YouTube channel. Why would you want exclusive rare audio? Push off, you jumped-up lefties. Don't subscribe. Well, the following audio is from Talk Radio in 1997. The show was all about allergies. I touched a peacock once with my bare bum cheeks. Gave me goosebumps, to be honest.
Let's talk about allergies. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Allergies. A new thing to suffer from, apparently. I can't remember anybody having an allergy when I was a boy, except, of course, hay fever, and that's been around for a couple of hundred years. That produced the Industrial Revolution, as we well know. Allergies. The question is this. Is it all in the mind? Free call 0500 10 53 89. When you think about it, I mean, the whole business of suffering from an allergy has in many ways taken over for a great many people where food poisoning left off. In as much as if you wake up with a hangover or you decide that you want to go to the away game, you phone in and say, I've got my allergy. Free call 0500 10 53 89. We're talking about minor allergies here. Major allergies, such as, for example, cobra poison and 25,000 volts of electricity, are effectively only allergies, if you think about it. We have called them poisons, haven't we, in the past? But effectively, one is allergic to that substance. That's what causes death in the case of vast amounts of electricity, or cobra poison. We can eat 98 species of mushrooms, but there are 2 that we can't. We call them poisonous, but effectively we are allergic to a substance in the 2 mushrooms that we can't eat. This is a very important point. Free call 0500 10 53 89. For those poor people who tragically turn out to be sufferers in as much as their body treats peanuts as a poison, okay, they have a serious condition on their hands, and that's not what we're talking about this afternoon. No. That is a genuine medical problem, just as being bitten by a cobra or touching a pylon's wires with a kite would be a problem for all of us. That's beyond dispute, and we're not discussing that this afternoon. But what we are talking about are the allergies which give you a snuffly nose, which give you a slight husk to your voice, which give you an irritation of the eyes so that you need to rub them, and maybe a slight feeling of listlessness. These are the allergies which are seriously on the march. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I just want to ask whether they are real, or whether they have been purposely invented, or whether they are psychosomatic. That is to say, their symptoms are real, but they are generated by something that's in the mind. Whatever that is. You don't want to go to work. I wouldn't be at all surprised, the power of the mind being what it is, that it would be possible to create a slight creakiness of the joints and maybe a little bit of extra activity in the sinus. It's possible, isn't it? It has to be possible. What's your theory? Free call 0500 10 53 89. There are plenty of reasons to believe that minor allergies are all in the mind. Point number 1, animals don't suffer from allergies, big or small, do they? Whether we're talking about pets, livestock, or wildlife, I have yet to hear of any animal, insect, bird, reptile, or mammal. I'm quite certain that fish don't suffer from allergies, but I'll include them so that they don't feel left out, or fish that have ever suffered from any kind of an allergy. So if the rest of the animal kingdom is immune from allergies, why would it be that minor allergies apparently crop up at convenient times for us human beings? Free call 0500 10 53 89. I have a theory which has been put together and carefully researched by 5 crack members of my team on this show, and I think as we begin to explore it, the connection is one that you will make yourself as to why it may be that there are more minor allergies to more things experienced by more people than ever before. Let me tell you what are the most common allergies amongst young women. They are as follows, but not any particular order. Chocolate, which can induce, apparently, in those who are reactive to it, a type of headache called migraine, shellfish, in particular lobster, cut flowers, and acidic alcohol such as sparkling wine. So young women are more likely to suffer a mild form of allergic reaction to chocolates, cut flowers, lobster, and champagne. Now, I love those 4 ingredients together, and what kind of a scenario are you thinking about? What is it that the woman is likely to be involved in with those 4 ingredients that might find her snuffling or ringing up and saying she can't make it, or not disporting herself very well throughout the episode? I think you can see where we're thinking here. Now look at men. Men tend to be allergic to cats and the type of dust mites which are generally found in bedding. It's a fact. The most common allergy amongst men is said to be a form of asthma which can be triggered by the dust mite found in bedding mattresses and bed linen, particularly bedding belonging to other people, because their system has probably developed some kind of immunity against the dust mites that live in their own bed. So I won't make the final connection because I think it's pretty straightforward, and I think we could be onto something here. We know, don't we, that the planet's population is growing. There's a population explosion. We know, don't we, that that can't be all good. We know that nature is a wonderful thing, and if there is a God, he moves in mysterious ways. Is that what's going on here? Free call 0500 10 53 89. 200 years ago, the only known allergy that I've been able to uncover researching social history was hay fever. And when the hay fever epidemic was at its highest, it coincided with a time when the cities, the urban areas, needed more people to work and live away from the countryside. So the notion that allergies have been some kind of a social force for social change may have already been established. The question is something similar going on now? Not necessarily supporting or assisting with the Industrial Revolution, but maybe helping humanity come to terms with its need to have fewer babies. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Allergies. Are they all in the mind? I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. We're talking about allergies, minor allergies. Are they all in the mind? After all, animals don't suffer from allergies. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Lisa calls from Basingstoke. You're on Talk Radio, Lisa.
Hello. I'd like to say that I disagree with you. I'm afraid that animals do suffer from allergies. I had a cat once, and if I was eating some cheese and the cat would get a little bit close to me, and obviously the cheese, then she'd start sneezing. So I think she had an allergy to cheese.
No, I'm afraid that doesn't work, Lisa.
Why not?
Well, you don't work? Well, because you don't sneeze because you have an allergy.
What about hay fever?
Well, yes, you can sneeze for a whole lot of reasons. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I sneeze because I look into the sun. That doesn't make me allergic to the sun, does it?
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. It just means that I wrinkle up my nose.
Yeah, but you're allergic to the bright sunshine. There's something in that, isn't there? I'm not a doctor, but
there's rubbish. You're talking absolute rubbish.
No, it's not. It's not rubbish.
Is. What happens is this. No, it isn't a fact. What happens is this. The cat smells the cheese.
Yes.
This is true. This is why people sneeze when they look into the sun. They wrinkle up their face.
Yes.
Okay, and what happens is then the hairs in their nose, the small hairs in their nose, irritate the very sensitive membranes within the nose, all right, and cause a sneeze, as though there's a foreign body in there.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes,
and that's why your cat sneezes when you've got a big
human. But you're putting human feelings onto cats.
You are. You're putting human feelings into cats by saying your cat's allergic to cheese. Yeah. You can't be allergic to the smell of something.
Why not?
Well, who is?
How can you ask a cat if it's allergic to the smell of something?
Well, human beings even aren't allergic to the smell of things.
Well, I don't know about human beings, but I'm only talking about animals.
Yes, but you're making stuff up. Your cat is not allergic to the smell of cheese.
Well, I'm afraid if you were here and you saw it, you might think differently.
I would not think differently. I would simply make my excuses and leave.
Right, because in case you caught the allergy, you mean?
No, in case the conversation went on and you told me some more stuff.
Right, okay then.
Go on, clear off.
Clear off. Bye.
Nice to talk to you. Bye-bye. Good try. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Animals do not suffer from allergies. Mary calls from London. You're on Talk Radio. Mary, good afternoon.
Hello.
Mary.
I'm interested in this psychosomatic thing, Tom, that you're on about.
Yes.
And I think I may be able to work out my problem. I think I've been psychosomatic since I was born. I started off with eczema. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then, by the time I was about 11, that subsided. I had asthma. Yeah? I obviously didn't get enough attention with that. And the eczema had cleared completely, except for the inner part of my foot, my right foot, yeah? 10 years ago, obviously wasn't getting enough attention, Tommy, and I decided to buy a new pair of sandals. Unfortunately for me, the dye was loose and I was allergic to it, so they say. And I live now, 10 years later, with the legacy. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? I think it was. I think you're right. I think you've got a real good point. Every time I get the problem, every time I cut my leg or I bump my leg, I have to spend 8 days in my back with my leg up high, intravenous injections. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's about not getting enough recognition.
Well, that's your theory, Mary. I think it just demonstrates what a powerful mind you have, and you clearly do. That your mind can exert so much influence over your body.
Yes.
You know, they call it stress, don't they?
I never thought about it before, Tommy, but I think you're right.
I think that people who allegedly suffer from stress are actually just people with very powerful minds.
Ah.
Yes.
I never realized I was powerful. Gosh, that's two things I've learned today, Tommy.
How do you feel? Liberated?
Liberated
Isn't it great?
completely. Next time it happens, I'm going to ring my GP and say, don't bother. It's tender, loving care I'm missing.
Mary, in London. She is free. And so can you be. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Lynn calls now from Buckinghamshire. You're on Talk Radio. Lynn, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Tommy.
Hello, Lynn.
Animals do have allergies.
No.
Pardon?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They don't.
I've got an epileptic dog, and he's allergic to cat fleas. And we have 2 cats.
Okay, but go on, explain yourself a bit more. I'm not going to do all the work for you.
Right.
Explain. You say they're allergic. We mean the cat fleas get on the dog, bite it.
Yes, and then he comes up in rashes
Well,
and
that's
gets
the whole
bad
point
infection.
of fleas, isn't it? Fleas are meant to do that. They're meant to irritate you.
Yes, I know, but when a flea bites you, you get a little bump and you scratch it. He gets a big lump of about 3 inches around, which is all red and sore and raw. And the vet says that it's an allergy to cat fleas.
Oh, well, the vet would, wouldn't they? And how much did that cost?
Well, nothing, because he's insured.
Well, how much did that cost your insurance company then?
It depends, because it depends what they put it down as. I think the flea treatment we have for him is about £12, and that lasts 2 years.
What happens when a flea bites a dog?
He gets infected.
No, but what does the flea do when it bites a dog?
The flea sucks out blood.
And before that?
Well, he jumps on him and then he bites out the blood.
No, you're missing the important bit. Are you doing it on purpose or don't you know?
Well, he lays eggs.
No, you don't know, do you?
Oh, go on, tell me.
No. Well, I mean, Ash is a biologist.
Please.
Yes. Can I bring Ash in here? Because he is very much my team leader when it comes to medical things, and Ash knows about things like this. What? Yes, Ash.
When a flea or a tsetse fly bites somebody, they actually have to release a chemical that will stop the blood to coagulate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This causes the histamine release within the dog, which would cause the rash to go around it.
Thank you very much indeed.
And what would cause the infection?
Sorry?
What causes the infection then?
Oh, because you've got an open wound and bacteria gets in. Your dog isn't clean enough.
Scratching it.
Yeah, they're scratching it and there's dirt in the atmosphere, in the environment. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
All right, anything else? You want to tell us about the state of your pot plants or you know?
No, I haven't got any...
Got a car that's broken down? We can fix anything.
No, none of the car... No, my car's not allergic to anything.
Now you say that.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting that none of us are allergic to things that are convenient to us?
Well, I'm not allergic. I said the car's not allergic to anything.
Exactly. And you're not allergic... I've never met anybody who's allergic to cars. We like driving around in our cars, don't we?
I suppose so, yeah.
Look at the number of men who don't like cats who are allergic to them. I think you can bring a minor allergy on, you know, Lynn. This is the bottom line.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had any minor ones.
No. Free call 0500 10 53 89. But if there is a master plan afoot, if there is some kind of a conspiracy theory lurking just underneath the surface here with all these allergies that are around now, and there will probably be more by the end of the week, that's how fast they're coming, thick and fast. I mean, what do you believe you are allergic to? Free call 0500 10 53 89. But before you do, come on, that has to be ridiculous, surely. Doesn't it? When you think it through, whatever it is, it was good for you not that long ago, and you like it. It just doesn't fit, unless, of course, there is a mysterious force at work. Because so many of the things that we are allergic to are the things that are associated with romance and procreation. And God does move in mysterious ways, and Mother Nature does care. And if there are just about enough of us, and we don't need too many more human beings on this planet, could it be, I'm only asking, could it be, it's an exercise in lateral thinking, but could it be that allergies are actually nature's way of making sure that we don't have too many babies? It has to be explored. Has to be explored. It does. No, it does. Pam calls from Essex. You're on Talk Radio, Pam.
Hi, Tommy. My 2.5-year-old daughter has got an allergy.
Mm-hmm.
She's been quite poorly for about a year or so, and she's had lots of infection, and she had some breathing difficulties back in September, and she had to go to the hospital, and they said that she had viral-induced asthma. I wasn't convinced that she actually had the asthma because she never wheezes or anything like that. So my mother-in-law took me in hand, and we went to see a homeopath, and she has got a mixed mould allergy, which basically means that she's allergic to the spores in mushrooms and in the atmosphere. And this time of the year, the spore count is quite high. And that is what she is allergic to. I did phone you about a month or so ago, actually, to say that my husband's been taking my children over to the woods when you did the forest talk.
Oh, yes.
And how much they enjoyed going over the woods. But we didn't realise that it actually wasn't helping her because she's always got a continuously runny nose. She's not a particularly healthy child with it, you know. And when this homeopath explained the fact that she could be allergic to the spore count or spores in the mushroom, and if we did a spore count as we do a pollen count, it can be very high, and it's especially high in London this time of the year. So she has got an allergy, and I don't think it can be in her mind at 2.5 years old.
No, you don't. But
No.
you do believe the homeopathic doctor?
I do.
Right.
Because she actually summed up my daughter's character, and apparently allergies go hand in hand with the character.
That's right.
And she also found out a couple of other little things that the doctor...
So you can
had
tell
mentioned.
what sort of an allergy you're going to get from what sort of a person you are.
Yeah,
And that is because...
of the person that you are, basically.
Yes.
Broadening it down, she said that asthmatics are stressed out people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell what sort of an allergy... I'll just try this again. Presumably you asked, because I wouldn't have let the moment go. You can tell what sort of an allergy a person is going to suffer from what sort of a person they are.
Yeah.
Because
the way she explained it is that the allergy goes hand in hand. She sort of summed up my daughter by saying she's a very neat child. She likes dainty things. You know, she's quite a dainty girl. She likes playing with necklaces like beads, and she likes playing with the makeup and stuff like that.
Yes.
She's very everything. I mean, she's messy, but she's neat. If you understand me, you know, she puts things away quicker than anybody else would.
Right.
And that's because she's like that. So she hasn't got like an asthmatic allergy.
No.
But it can be because of the character of the person.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's how I assumed. That's how I understood it as she was explaining it.
Very interesting. Pam, thank you for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Allergies. Come on. I mean, who are they kidding? I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. From the subject, I pass it on. You may find it useful. A really good line, if you're standing at a party or at a wine bar and an attractive young lady sneezes, is just to turn and say, hello. Allergic to good-looking men, I see. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Allergies. Margaret calls from Essex. You're on Talk Radio. Margaret.
Hi, Tommy.
Allergies.
I know you discounted seriously allergic people at the beginning of the programme.
Well,
I
that's
am
poison, isn't it?
Sorry?
That's poison, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right. And I am one of those people, but I want to just tell you that I am allergic, and I have known other people that can be allergic just to smell. For instance, if certain things that you're allergic to, if you're in fairly close proximity, say for a fish shop, I'm allergic to fish, one of them, and it's a warm day and there's lots of smell coming from a fish shop, just the smell of it can bring about an anaphylaxis.
Which is what?
It's a shock condition that people that are seriously allergic go into if they've ingested an amount of the substance that they're allergic to.
What's this reaction called again?
Anaphylaxis. Anaphylactic shock.
Anaphylactic?
Yeah.
With a PH?
Yeah.
It always sounds better, doesn't it, with a PH?
Well.
Anaphylactic?
It's an anaphylactic shock.
Okay, can you
there is
what
an
it sounds like a bit more?
campaign.
Have I ever had an anaphylactic shock and not know it?
Have you?
Yeah.
You would have known about it because I think you probably would have ended up in hospital.
Well, you'd have known about it, but, I mean, would you have known it was an anaphylactic shock? I mean, is it another new thing that we...
No. There is an anaphylaxis campaign, and you actually need an injection of adrenaline. I'm not allergic to peanuts, but I know that's the one that's most commonly talked about.
But what happens when you get an anaphylactic shock?
Breathing becomes very seriously affected.
Well, you say very seriously affected. I mean... You can presumably have a mild anaphylactic shock.
I don't know.
Oh, because you can get mild conditions of everything that there is, can't you?
Probably. I don't really know. It probably depends on how much you've ingested.
So, exactly. So I could have had a mild anaphylactic shock, but I just thought I was feeling a bit under the weather.
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of difference between feeling under the weather and actually going into this shock condition.
No, I don't agree, because I'm sure I would stake my life, Margaret, on it being possible to have a mild condition. A mild variant on any condition.
Yeah.
So you can have I've had a mild anaphylactic shock, I'm certain of it.
But wouldn't you think that's directly related to the amount of irritant that you've ingested? I'm using some long words here. The amount of irritant that you've ingested.
Well, maybe yes or maybe no, but what we've agreed on is that you can have a mild anaphylactic shock. Now, it could be that a mild anaphylactic shock is something that a lot of young people find get a kick out of.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that, but I did want to make...
She didn't argue with that.
No, I did want to make the point, Tommy, that you can actually react to smells. Trust me.
No.
Trust me, I'm not a doctor.
No.
Yes, yes.
I wouldn't trust anybody from Essex, Margaret. Would you? Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Carefully. If you suffer from an allergy, it is because a substance has interfered with your system.
Correct.
Okay. I do not know the answer to this, but some of my team may. You may, listening, whoever you are, besides me and Margaret. When you smell something, does a substance act on your nasal sensors or wherever you achieve the sense of smell, all right? Or is it some kind of an energy or a force?
I really don't know.
Oh, but you must assume, Margaret, that it's a substance. Because if it is not a substance that we smell in our noses, right, then it is entirely psychosomatic.
No, they actually say, for instance, if a certain thing, if something you're allergic to is actually cooking, it will give off very, very minute particles into the air. So you are actually ingesting the material that you're allergic to through your nose and purely through smell.
Coming into contact with it.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I've learned something. Have you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
What?
I always do when I listen to you.
Sweet. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Allergies. There is a possibility when you look at the things that people are allergic to. Look, I mean, women aren't allergic to wood, are they? I've never come across a woman who was allergic to glass. Have you? But women are allergic to the foods of love and the stuff of romance. Lobsters, chocolate, cut flowers, champagne. These are all common allergies amongst women. What do we make of that? And men, they're allergic to bed linen, other people's bed linen, and the dust mites that inhabit other people's bed linen. And cats. Who keeps cats? Men are allergic to cats. Who has cats? Exactly. So what is nature? What is nature's agenda on this one? On this new phenomenon of all these minor allergies, which allegedly people suffer from. Jackie calls from Hertfordshire. You're on Talk Radio. Jackie, good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy. My husband is allergic to meat that he eats. It just comes out in a massive rash, and so he doesn't bother eating it now. But when we first got married, I thought, oh, yeah, it's all in his mind. And so I was really horrible, and I used to make like a fish casserole because he can eat fish, and put some meat stock in it. He used to come out in really big rashes, so I stopped doing that.
When did your husband become allergic to meat?
Well, he was actually very little, and
he was very little.
Yes, he was little. He hasn't eaten meat since he was a child. But like I say, when I first met him, I thought, oh yeah, it's all in his mind. But I used to test him out.
How little is your husband?
When he was little.
When he was little? You mean when he was young?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I got an image of sort of grumpy or sneezy. Sneezy it would have been, I guess, in his case.
So when he was a young boy. Yeah. But,
whistle while we work. Anyway.
But I was just
all
saying.
All meat?
Sorry.
All meat?
Well, the only meat I've ever tried him with is like a red meat. I don't know. He just won't eat it now. But, he was really itching away like crazy when I tested it out.
Really?
And so I just, I let him go. But he will handle meat. And like the lady said before, I can cook meat because we all eat meat, and he doesn't become allergic then.
No.
So whether the smell theory is true, I don't know.
Odd, isn't it, though, that he would be allergic to meat and yet he can eat fish?
He can eat fish, yes.
Because these are both animals, and the flesh is more or less the same sort of substance. Not at all, in fact, but similar. I mean, they're both alive, aren't they? That's my point. I mean,
I agree.
Vegetarians say that, one fish is just the same as one sheep because they've both got a face.
Yes. Yeah,
and yet it seems that our digestive system has a different view to the morality of that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know, Tommy. I don't know why he is, and but he doesn't mind preparing meat, and we all eat meat. He doesn't. But I was just thinking that it's obviously got nothing to do with birth control in our family because we've got 6 children.
You have you? Well, nature did its best, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't listen, would you?
Oh no.
Well, very nice to chew the fat with you, anyway, if I can put it like that.
Well, I'm not allergic to meat anyway, Tommy.
No, well, I'll talk to your husband one day, and we'll chew the fin.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks for your call.
Bye-bye.
Paul is on the line, calling from Leeds. You're on Talk Radio. Paul, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Tom.
Paul.
With you all the way on this one, mate.
Thank you.
Bed bugs, sneeze all day.
That's you.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it your own bed, or if you jump into somebody else's bed?
Well, if I stay at somebody else's, like my mum's, or stay at a friend's house, that's me done for the day.
So, you see now, good, I'm glad we've got you, because you're a serious guinea pig here. What age are you?
I'm 29 now.
29?
But ever since, when I was a kid,
yes,
they thought I had a cold all the time.
Yes. Are you young, free and single?
No, I'm actually married.
Oh, you're actually married,
Yeah.
So you won't be doing any bed hopping?
No.
But when you were...
Definitely not.
But when you were suiting?
No, I didn't do a lot of bed hopping then, but I used to stay at friends' house. He was at university, and we used to go there and stay around, and it was always... particularly if I stayed in bed too long. I'd stay in bed, say, lay in the morning.
Now, you see, we're not allergic. There has to be something in this. We're not allergic to dining chairs or to sofas.
No, but my biggest one, the other one as well, Tommy, is perfumes.
Yeah, I didn't put it on the list because I thought it was... I thought that people would think I was making it up, but you are allergic to women's perfumes.
If it's too strong. Especially if it's too strong.
What happens to you?
Well, just sneeze. Especially sneezing. So once you start sneezing, though, if you get it, you've got it for the whole day then.
Yeah. So you're allergic to women's perfume, other people's beds, anything else?
Yeah, what was the other one you mentioned earlier on? My mind's gone blank. Oh, cats. Oh, God, yeah. Mum and Dad have got 2 cats. If I stroke them, I'm off.
See, Mother Nature or God doesn't want you to get involved.
No,
I
know.
See that.
I managed to win over on that one because I am married with 2 kids, so somehow or other I managed to beat Mother Nature on that one.
Well, you did, but I'd only put it down as a 3-2 away win.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
But it does back up your point. It is incredible that those are the 3 main things that I'm allergic to.
So men are allergic too.
Yeah,
Beds,
definitely.
Other people's especially, and staying in bed too long.
That's it.
Women's perfume.
Yeah.
And cats.
Yeah.
And women are allergic to, and this is true, isn't it, in your experience? Shellfish, cut flowers, chocolate, champagne.
My wife does sneeze with cut flowers.
Can I just... Do you know there is another allergy that increasingly women are suffering from?
What's that?
Well, my case actually began with this, but I didn't want to begin my argument with this because it wraps it up. And I've got nothing to do for another half hour then if I win the argument at 3:20, 2.
Yeah. What was
Sperm.
Sperm. Right.
Sperm.
Oh, you're kidding?
Sperm. No. More women, and increasingly, in the case of those women, more women are suffering allergic reactions to sperm.
That's a bit of a problem.
To semen, in fact. Yeah. It is. And if it doesn't rather close the case in favour of what I've been wondering before, I don't know what does. My wife is allergic to me.
Is she?
So
you bring your wife out to rescue?
Sort of. Don't pursue... I think I know where you're going with this idea, so just shut it, all right? So nice to talk to you, Paul. Thank you for your call.
Care, Tom.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
And thank you for being a living endorsement of something that we were only wondering about. But so many minor allergies that people suffer from, it seems to me, are impediments to only one form of human activity, and that is procreation. It's a fact, isn't it? So what is afoot here? Free call 0500 10 53 89. Let me tell you something. A lot of people listen to this programme and they think, oh, he's mucking about. He's making stuff up. He's winding people up. But I challenge you if you have ever thought that is the case, if you've ever thought that this programme tinkers with human amusement, I challenge you to challenge this hypothesis that minor allergies are nothing more or less than nature's impediment to procreation. Maria calls from Hertfordshire. You're on Talk Radio. Maria, good afternoon.
Tommy, they're just making it all up.
They're making it up. They're making it up.
Yep.
I agree with you.
I don't believe that people are allergic to anything. I've never had an allergy to anything in my life, and neither is anyone in my family, and I think it's just a way of getting over not eating food you don't like.
Oh, no, I hadn't thought about it from that perspective. Are you still somebody who can be made to eat a plate of food?
No.
No, you're past that now. What age would you be?
I'm 16.
You're 16?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to eat something, you just don't?
Yeah.
Right. Did you ever use the allergy argument?
No.
Well, what don't you like?
Meat.
Did you never use the I'm allergic to it argument?
No.
No, because actually the other arguments are quite strong, aren't they?
Yeah.
Did you stop eating meat because you didn't like it or because you thought it was wrong?
Yeah, I don't like the taste of it, and I don't really agree with eating it either, but it's mainly because I don't like the taste.
Okay. Maria in Hertfordshire, thank you for your call. People just make them up. And that happens. But there's something too, a lot of minor allergies. Again, we're not talking about major allergies here. Those are poisons, and that is a different conversation. But so many minor allergies which cling to the things that we associate with romance and love and starting families. There are so many of them. It can't be a coincidence. There must be some kind of rationale driving it all. Let's go to Desmond, who's calling from Brighton. Welcome to Talk Radio, Desmond.
Yeah. Hello.
Sir.
Hello.
Desmond.
I'm allergic to three things, not serious ones. One is milk, the second is wool, and the third one is sticky fabric tape, which you have on a dressing or whatever. I was born on a farm, and I believe the milk allergy was innate, although it might have been influenced by having too much milk on the farm. The wool, the farm was a very cold building, and I expect I was wrapped up in far too much wool in those days, 75 years ago. And so I get uncomfortable feelings when I wear wool. In fact, it's...
Have you always been allergic to milk and wool?
I've always been allergic to wool, and I've had to wear cotton only against my skin. I found the milk allergy really was... I'd had eczema, and I was advised to try to leave milk alone, dairy products, and the eczema disappeared. But as a baby, I was told later on that milk did upset me to some extent, yes.
So, Desmond, milk, wool, and sticking plaster.
That's right, yes. They're none of them life-threatening, exactly.
Well, it depends, as you get older and older and older, I suppose milk and wool, a milk diet wrapped in wool and the occasional bandage or sticking plaster on whichever bit's falling off is going to become quite critical. So,
it's irritating. Let's put it that way.
Well, I share your hope for the future, Desmond. Yeah. Thank you so much for your call.
Okay.
Nice to talk to you.
Thanks.
Interesting. Let's speak with Jeanette, who's calling from London. Jeanette, immediately after Jane, who's in London. You're on Talk Radio. Jane.
Hi.
Jane.
Okay, here we go.
Hi.
In about, I think it was 1980, I went to America.
Right.
Oh, God, they've all got allergies over there.
Yeah.
Everybody has something. This was in 1980. They're all sniffing and they've all got runny noses and their allergies. And I'd never really heard of it until then. And I kept saying, allergies, God. Well, don't they all have an allergist that they go to? And slowly, like the pizza chains, we now all have the same allergies. And I'll tell you, I'm suspicious. You are,
aren't you?
I am.
You don't think that it's something that could come in on the planes?
No.
No?
I think it's the thought waves that are coming in on the plane.
The alpha wave.
The alpha wave.
You don't think
I mean, how can you be allergic to your own atmosphere? It's pathetic.
I know. You read, don't you, in the tabloids every 9 months about a woman who's allergic to the 20th century.
Yes, that's right.
How can that be?
I know. Nonsense. I'm with you. I think it's a complete hoax.
There was a woman, she was a leader of a band that you're probably too young to remember, called Pickety Witch.
Oh, vaguely. It is a bit dim and distant, I have to say.
Yeah, but you reckon it's something that we're copying from America, huh?
Yes, I think we put down every little sniffle to the, I don't know, about life.
Right.
Allergic to life.
Right, but isn't it interesting, though, that, do you think that we've got our analysis right when we notice that most of the things that younger men and younger women are allergic to are things that are associated with lovemaking and procreation?
Maybe.
Well, think
exactly.
About it. Shellfish,
allergic to
chocolate, cut flowers, perfume, cats, other people's bed linen.
Yeah. Allergic to our own life, aren't we? We're scared there's something in there that's the psychosomatic argument. I'm with you. I think you're right.
Well, that's one element of it. I mean, either they don't exist or it's God's plan to get us to cut down on the number of babies we're having.
Maybe. Very good. Whatever it is, I think it's a big hoax.
Free call 0500 10 53 89. Allergies. Perhaps it's all in the mind. Or perhaps it's all in God's mind. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. That's from Hertfordshire. You're on Talk Radio. Katie, good afternoon.
Hello there, Tommy. Hi. I just want to come back to your point about anaphylactic shock. It's not actually possible to have a mild anaphylactic shock. But if you have an anaphylactic shock, that means it's a severe allergic reaction.
Well, I didn't know that. What is it, Greek?
I don't know, Latin or something or other, I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't say it means something without telling us what it means.
Well, that's what it means. If you have an anaphylactic shock, it doesn't mean you come out in a bit of a rash and a bit of a sniffle.
Yes.
It means that your eyes are streaming, your nose is running, your throat is closing up.
Right, but as far as you know, if you were to break, if it's one of those usual sort of portmanteau elderly words, you're not able to break it down for us and demonstrate that it only refers to a severe allergic reaction.
Just because I've read it in literature, my son is actually anaphylactic.
Ooh.
He's very allergic to peanuts and eggs and cat fur.
Right. But it is possible, I think you'll find, Katie, I can't think of any human condition or syndrome or reaction is possible to suffer from just about everything in a milder form.
Oh, yeah. It is. But then you couldn't call it anaphylaxis.
Why not?
Because...
Why can't you call it a mild anaphylaxis?
Because there's no such thing.
No, you're being proud of your syndrome here.
No, not
yes,
at all.
You are.
There's nothing I'd like more than for him not to have it.
Well, I didn't say that, did I? What I'm saying is you're saying that anybody who's got a mild form of it doesn't know they're born.
Well, no, but they probably don't. If you have anaphylaxis, you really know about it. And, if you're a parent
not if you have a mild version of it.
No, but you can't have a mild version.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. You can have a mild version of anything. You can have a mild cold. You can have a mild bronchial condition.
Yes, but you can't say you're anaphylactic because you've got a bit of a sneeze.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. I think if you talk to a doctor,
I would never dream of talking to a doctor. Why do that?
Because they might be able to inform you and tell you exactly what anaphylaxis means.
Now, you know as well as I do. Doctors just tell you what you want to hear.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They want to get rid of you in 6 minutes.
No, they don't. I didn't want to know that my son was anaphylactic.
No,
I wanted to hear that he was going to be fine.
No, but you wanted to hear that he had a crystal cut condition, which was understood and which could be combated.
That does help.
Okay, that's my point.
It does help because now I know that I have to carry medicine for him.
So if somebody gets a mild version of the same symptoms which accompany an anaphylactic shock, what is that then?
Well, it might mean that you've got runny eyes or a runny nose or a bit of a rash or whatever.
Yes, but then what is it then? What name do we give that? Can we give that a name? It's much better it's got a name, isn't it?
A mild reaction? I don't know. Perhaps it has got a medical name.
Right, but what we can't do is call it a mild anaphylactic shock.
No.
Because you won't have that, will you?
I will not.
Because your son's got that and nobody else can have a small version of it.
Well, other people do have a small version, but they can't call it anaphylaxis, really.
Why not, if they want to?
Well, they can if they want to,
It's
but they
nice
wouldn't
to
be
have a
right,
syndrome.
would they?
They would be right.
They wouldn't be right.
Of course they'd be right.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would. I, in fact, suffer from mild anaphylactic shocks from time to time. I don't know what causes them, but I do.
What, the food or...?
What?
Is this the food or
I don't know. I don't know, because, when you think you might suffer from an allergy...
Yeah.
It's really hard, isn't it? Because it could have been caused by anything that you'd done in the preceding, half hour or 2 hours.
Mm.
Okay. It's really hard to identify all the things that you've done which could have caused it.
It is, but if you're getting something that's recurring, perhaps day after day or,
yes.
Then you can narrow it down. I mean, my little boy's reactions happen only occasionally, and I know what they are.
Right.
But there still might be other things that we don't know that he's allergic to. We do have to watch him all the time.
Yes, but in my case, and in the case of everybody listening, because I think everybody gets anaphylactic shocks in a mild form.
A lot of people get allergic reactions to certain things, but they don't get anaphylactic shock.
They do.
They don't.
Look, do you know what Tourette's syndrome is?
No.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
Do I?
Yes, you do. It's that one where people go, they swear. Suddenly. You've seen it?
No.
Everybody knows what Tourette's syndrome is. You go, and you swear, you flipping heck.
All right.
It's been on television a lot.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Dr. Sachs wrote about it at great length in his book, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat.
Oh,
Ricky Tikki Ray.
No, you've
It's a neurological disorder.
Right,
But the point is, he makes the point that you can suffer from all of the neurological syndromes, which he's identified and explored in his glittering career as a neurologist, in a mild form.
Yes, you can. I'm not denying that you can have it in a mild form, but you can't call it anaphylaxis, because anaphylaxis is a severe allergic reaction.
But you're not getting my point. My point is you're being a bit precious about this label.
No, not at all. I'd happily call it anything else. I'd happily not have a label. I could call it severe allergic reaction. I mean, I'd be happy enough with that. But to know what he's got and that he needs to have medication is very important.
Yes, nobody's denying that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about we're going around the houses, really, to be honest with you. So we better press on, hadn't we?
Yes, we had really, but you know that I'm right, Tommy, don't you?
No,
really?
I don't. I really think that you are utterly and completely and extremely wrong.
You don't
I really
mean
do.
that.
No,
you
I do.
don't mean that. You don't mean that.
I do. Of course
You've
I do.
You've enjoyed talking to me, haven't you? Because you've learnt something today, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
You have?
No, because I already knew that people love their medical labels.
No.
And they won't let anybody else have any of them in a mild form.
Absolutely not. No, I wouldn't wish it on anybody else, put it that way, because it's not very nice.
We're not talking about the condition, we're talking about the label.
No, I'd happily call it anything, or call it severe allergic reaction.
But you won't share it.
What do you mean?
You won't share the label with people who've got it in a mild form.
No, but then they can say they've got a mild reaction, can't they?
But you're not going to let them say it's a mild anaphylactic shock.
No, because there's no such thing, because anaphylactic shock is severe.
Okay,
Tommy,
yes,
stop winding me up.
It's
Otherwise
not
I won't
severe.
ring you again.
I don't care. It's not severe. And if you can prove to me by breaking the word down into its component parts that any of them underline the fact that it must be severe, then you will have won the argument.
Right, well, I'll have to go to the library and look it up, won't I?
How do you spell it?
Now you're asking me.
You don't even know how it's spelled.
Well, if you let me think about it, I can tell you. ANA, Hannah, SHLACTIC. Anaphylactic.
Right.
Shock.
Okay. Well, if anybody knows then what the component parts of that word are.
I'd be very interested to know myself.
You would. Free call 0500 10 53 89. So we went round about the houses there, didn't we? And we didn't get anywhere. But then you don't have to get somewhere always, do you? Okay, a little drive in the country can be quite good fun. Luke calls from East Sussex, and Luke, I think you get the last word on this one today. Allergies?
Tommy, hello.
Hello.
Our snake has an allergy to a certain type of wood, which is his cage, and it's the way it's treated. We've taken him to the vets 6 or 7 times.
Yes.
Eventually we got down to it.
Yes.
It's actually the kind of wood.
Yes, in his cage.
Yeah.
This is very interesting, isn't it?
And his mouth puffed up, all swollen.
Yes.
And we changed the wood, and straight away it went down.
No.
Honestly.
I was going to say, otherwise you'd have all these prisoners in Wormwood Scrubs saying that they've got an allergic reaction to iron bars and bricks.
No, honestly...
What sort of wood was it that your snake didn't like, mate?
It was the coating in the wood of some kind.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know anything about it. But...
Artificial coating on the wood?
Yeah.
Understood. And your snake is better now?
Yeah.
Good.
Fine.
Good, well, thanks for your call.
Let you know.
I'm grateful. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Funnily enough, we're talking about pet hates in the next hour of the programme. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio.
This is definitely not Bob putting a funny voice on. Click like and subscribe to the Tommy Boyd Shrine YouTube channel, and we may get more Bob Staunton. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am going to stick laxatives in Tommy Boyd's coffee. If he won't call it quits, I'll make him strain with the squits.